Some truths are universal. Market price means your wallet will cry. Quick meeting won't be quick. And when a giant tech company stays silent for a decade, rumors explode and hopes crash. That's basically the applecar story. So let's ask two things. Did Apple troll us? And is an Apple iCar really coming in 2026? Or is that just a myth we like too much to drop? First, a plain recap. For years, people believed Apple was building a car. There was a secret project with a cool code name. There were leaks and patents. There were big hiring sprees and odd Apple vans spotted in a random neighborhoods. Every year brought a new for sure launch window. First 2020, then 2024, then 2025, finally 2026. Then in 2024, reports said Apple shut the program down and moved many of the people to AI work. Testing paused, teams shifted. Headlines flipped from Apple will change cars forever to Apple taps the brakes. So why do we still hear Apple iCar in 2026? Because at the end of the day, rumors never die. That date once lived on internal slides, so it keeps popping up like a zombie. Apple also kept getting auto-related patents, seats, lighting, safety, in-dash interfaces, so people yelled, "Aha, it lives." Any hire from an automaker adds fuel. Apple sneezes, we read tea leaves. Hard truth, patents aren't products. Big companies file tons to keep options open, like claiming a username before you post. Partner rumors are similar. Every few months, a fresh name pops up. Team with an EV startup, license software to a luxury brand. Could it happen? Sure, it might. It could also be industry telephone that started with someone had a meeting. Now let's zoom out for a second. Why build a car? Best case, it's an iPhone on wheels. Tight hardware and software, clean design, deep ecosystem lock-in. Worst case, it's a money pit. Cars are hard, margins are thin. Factories cost billions of dollars. Safety takes years. The auto world also moves slow, not at Apple speed. And once you sell a car, you service it for a decade. Apple absolutely loves control and profit. That tension is the real problem here. So did Apple troll us? Depends on your definition. Apple never promised a car. No keynote. No coming next fall. It let rumors fly while exploring a big idea behind closed doors. And that's classic Apple move. Experiment in secret, cancel in secret, show only winners. Usually, we never hear about the projects that die. This one leaked for years, so it felt personal, and the plug hurt. It's like waiting for a friend who never confirms plans. You save the date and pick the outfit. They never said yes, but never said no. Suddenly, it is 11 p.m., you're eating cereal, and you feel played. Did they troll you, or did you troll yourself? Probably both. Apple's quiet plus our loud imaginations made the perfect hype storm. Here's my read. Apple tried to beat the hardest level on the first try. Full self-driving, a premium EV, and a new business model at once. That's basically like opening a restaurant and making your first dish a perfect souffle at sea level and on a mountain. Even with Apple's money and talent, the tech was not ready. The rules kept shifting, and the math looked real ugly. Cars are a grind, let's be honest. So Apple stepped back and redirected people to AI, Apple Intelligence as they like to call it, robotics ideas, and car software it can ship without a factory. The new CarPlay is the tell. It aims to run the whole dash. Gorgeous, climate, layout, skins, not just music and maps. If Apple lives inside your next car's screens, it doesn't need to build a body. Software can ship fast, reach millions of people, and avoid plans, recalls, and service headaches. That is very Apple. Win with the experience, not with the chassis. Back to 2026. Could Apple surprise drop a car? Anything is possible in this world, but be real. Spinning up manufacturing, locking suppliers, passing safety trials, and training service networks isn't an 18-month sprint. It's a multi-year marathon. After a 2024 reset, a complete iCar by 2026 will require a secret army and road tests that left no trail. More likely, if hardware returns, it's via partnership. Someone builds the metal, and Apple supplies the brains. So what science would actually mean it is back? There are three big ones. Number one, hiring waves. Dozens of battery, powertrain, safety, and factory ops roles in a short span. Number two, supply data turning into contracts. Major parts makers retooling for a new customer. Number three, road tests. You can't hide fleets forever. If permits return and odd SUVs loop Silicon Valley again, then we can talk. Until then, assume software first, hardware later. Also, what's the boring stuff that matters? Job listings shifting from generic AI roles to vehicle energy storage, thermal systems, and crash certification, quiet leases for extra test space, and investor calls where suppliers hint at a new North American program. Individually, these mean real little. Together, they paint a picture that's hard to hide for long. Anyway, meanwhile, expect Apple Insider Car instead of your car inside Apple. Maps that know your range in charges, a dash that feels like iOS, Siri that finally hears you over road noise, charging that pays like Apple Pay, not a puzzle, maybe even an Apple reference UI that automakers license, so your next car feels familiar on day number one. So what about the title? Did Apple troll us all? Not on purpose, but yes, in effect. Apple stayed real quiet. The internet got loud and we drew a picture in our heads. It felt real because it lived there so long. When reality arrived, it looked like a prank, but it was a pivot. And Apple iCar in 2026? My take? Extremely unlikely. That date is a zombie from old roadmaps, walking and moaning, not alive. If Apple returns to cars, it'll be on Apple time, not rumor time, and only with high control, high margins, and high delight. Before we wrap, let's talk expectations. We want the cinema moment where a white shuttle slides out while 1,000 phones film in 4K. But Apple's best moves lately are slower and quieter. Chips that crush, cameras that just work, headsets that look odd but point ahead, car software sneaking into models 1 year at a time. The loudest projects aren't always the ones that change your life. If you're rooting for a real Apple car, I get it. I am too. The fantasy is fun. Walking into a cabin that feels like an Apple store and drives like a dream is tech candy. But better to wait than rush. Push a square product into a round market and you'll get a decade of leaks, banned cash, and a dramatic "we are focusing on AI now" memo. Ship the right thing late, not the wrong thing now. So the final answer? Nope. Apple didn't troll us like a prank channel. We troll ourselves with hope. And no, an iCar in 2026 isn't something to plan around. If hardware returns, we'll see the signs. The real fight isn't Apple versus Tesla on a sales slot. It is who owns the dashboard, the data, and the daily habit. Tesla has vertical control and a massive charging network. Apple has the ecosystem in your pocket and the world's most used screen. One builds cars, one builds habits. If Apple wins the habit in your car, a hood logo may not matter. That's the take. If you disagreed with every word, drop a comment. If you agreed with every word, also drop a comment. That almost never happens and I want to frame it. If Apple actually ships a car in 2026, roast me in 8K HDR. I will accept it with humility. And by humility I mean a thumbnail with my mouth open and the word shook. buckle up. Keep rumors in eco mode, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.